All right, Butler, we are doing the film Cold Mountain, so you know what that means. It's time for a quote off.
All right.
That's right. If I cry one more tear for my daddy, I stole it off a crocodile. I don't know why I said it like that. That's terrible.
I'm so plugged up, used to be as regular as morning prayers. Matter of fact, I can set my watch by my bowels. That beeswax you fed me day before yesterday, it stops up a man. Open my gut now, they'd find turds stacked up like little twigs.
Why? Just, all right, I guess. All this while, I've been packing ice around my heart. How do I make it melt?
$30 more, we can go to the cabin. I'll pull this dress over my head.
All right. Enough. No, this is just, you're just not taking it seriously. I'm bringing you Nicole Kidman here, and you're bringing me garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
I'm Mike Field.
And welcome to Forgotten Cinema, a show where we talk about films that seem to be forgotten by audiences, whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time, or the film simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about the movie, or maybe don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it. You never know. You might find your own forgotten gem. If you enjoy Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you. We'd like you to subscribe and comment as well. All of that good stuff. We are everywhere. We're on, you know it. You've watched the show before, probably. We're YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Reddit. But I mean, no, you should join Reddit. Not enough people are on our Reddit. We're at 1,000 places with over 300 episodes for your pleasure.
Where are you going with that opening? Come on, man. What's going on?
Oh, I've just been.
You ready to have some fun? You ready to talk Civil War?
I've been
not Captain America Civil War.
Listen, I want to fight for the South, just like I'm supposed to. Yeah, I know it's a really hot take.
Oh, here comes the accent.
And I'm fighting for the South. I'm doing my duty. And you know what I found out? War sucks. I don't want to do it no more. I want to go home and bang Nicole Kidman all day and work on a farm.
That's not very honorable.
I just, I took a bullet in the neck and I'm in a stinky ass hospital for like forever. I deserve to go. I'm going. And I'm going to walk across North Carolina to get back to my life, back to Cold Mountain. I don't care. I'm going. I'm leaving. God. War's hell.
Accent's awful.
I'm gonna befriend Philip Seymour Hoffman, kind of, sort of, I guess, a little bit.
Kind of, sort of. Even though I
left him to die, I'm going to get into a whole bunch of hijinks. It's going to be kind of an analogy of the Odyssey. Meanwhile, the love of my life, who I've only met for about 15 minutes, is going to team up with Renée Zellweger and try to rebuild her farm.
Learning how to farm.
And it's going to be a good time overall. I think it's a feel-good movie of the year. That's what I think. And it's short. It's not a long movie at all.
Just under 3 hours. Actually, it's 2:35. That's right. We are doing Cold Mountain. Exciting. Yes, exciting. Great film to watch late at night when you're trying to get everything in so you can make sure that you can record 2 episodes in a row this week. So great. Good job, Mike. Way to pick him. All right, let's get into the facts, then we'll get into our discussion of this Civil War epic. Cold Mountain has a runtime of 154 minutes. Rated R. Production budget of $79 million. It came out on a Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th, 2003. Its opening weekend, it did estimated $14.5 million. Its domestic take was $96 million, international $77 million, for a worldwide total of $173 million. This type of epic, this type of big, long film, I wonder if that was the expectation, because you can't think this movie's going to make $300 million. It's so long.
I don't know, but this was like the time of the epics during
Minghella was
during the Thanksgiving Christmas season.
I guess
there's an expectation that one of them had to come out like this.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so this film's production company was Miramax, Mirage Enterprises, and Bona Fide Productions, and it was distributed by Miramax. So I said it came out on Christmas 12/25, 2003. Let's go back, not a whole week. We're going to go back to, we're going back to the Friday, the 19th. We had a wide release of Mona Lisa Smile. You had limited releases of Calendar Girls, The Hebrew Hammer, House of Sand and Fog, and The Fog of War. Any of those ring a bell for you?
I know of most of those movies, but I don't think I've seen a single one.
Well, Fog of War is a doc.
That one I've never heard of.
Calendar Girls is with Helen Mirren. It's a British film where these older ladies are doing a calendar, but they're doing them nude to raise money for someone that they know that's I think he has cancer. Or
sounds hot.
Something. The Hebrew Hammer is with Adam Goldberg. You ever seen that? It's kind of like it's very similar to Andy Dick is the son of Santa Claus, and he kills Santa Claus and he takes over. So the he's trying to kill Hanukkah. So the Hebrew Hammer has to go after him.
I think I have the image of the poster in my mind. Yeah.
And House of Santa Fog is with Jennifer Connelly and Ben Kingsley.
That movie I know of, I just never seen.
Yeah. You also had a limited release of the movie Monster, which comes out Wednesday before this film. So the Christmas Eve, you had Monster, which is the Charlize Theron Oscar-winning role where she plays the serial killer who's shooting guys.
Another feel-good holiday film.
Oh yeah,
She's really good in that film though.
She is. Well, she won the Oscar. Yeah. You also had, so when this movie came out, Cold Mountain, it went up against on Christmas in wide release, Cheaper by the Dozen, Peter Pan, and Paycheck, and then a limited release of The Company. I almost put Paycheck on the list because I watched the trailer again. I was like, I kind of want to put this on the list.
I'm pretty sure Paycheck is on the list.
Is it?
Yeah, it might be.
John Woo film, Ben Affleck. But anyways, you also had then Calendar Girls the following week, which is January 2nd, came out in a wide release. So there you go. This film was written and directed by Anthony Minghella, who's done The English Patient, which he won an Oscar for directing. He's also done Truly, Madly, Deeply. He was nominated for an Oscar for writing The English Patient, and he also was nominated for writing The Talented Mr. Ripley. Did you ever see the Netflix Talented Mr. Ripley show they did?
No.
Yeah, with I can't remember his name. He's in Fleabag. I can never remember his name.
Yeah, he's the guy that was in the last James Bond movie.
Yeah,
that Ray Fiennes was trying to be like, you can't take over MI6.
I can't remember his name.
He's good. I've seen some of his clips of his Shakespeare, and he does a really good job.
This film is cinematographer was John Seal, who has 5 Oscar nominations, and he won for The English Patient. Composer was Gabriel Yared, who won an Oscar for The English Patient as well. There's a theme here. He was also nominated for Ripley. Then edited by Walter Murch, who has 9 Oscar nominations. Guess which one he won for? The English Patient. That's right. This film. So before we get into the cast, you should also know that John Seal, Gabriel Yared, the composer, Seal, the cinematographer, and Murch, the editor, were all nominated for Oscars for this film. We also have a nomination for Renee Zellweger for this film, and she won.
Ruby.
She won for this. She has 2 Oscars, one for this, and we'll get to her. You can figure out what her other one movie is. So, anyways, This film has a huge cast. And while I would love to give you every single actor that's in this film, I think we would be here forever. So I'm going to try to give you the people that we kind of see the most on screen here. But there are definitely tons of people in here, and we'll get to them when we talk about the scenes, I'm sure. So Jude Law plays Inman, who is our lead. He was nominated for an Oscar for this role as well. He was nominated also for The Talented Mr. Ripley. He's also in Closer and The Order, which I've told Mike to watch off screen. Nicole Kidman as Ada Monroe, the love interest of Inman, and also I guess I would say our secondary lead in this film.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They both have different journeys and paths in this movie. She has 5 Oscar nominations, and she won for
The Hours.
Yes. Good job, Butler. I said that Renee Zellweger won an Oscar for her role as Ruby Tuis. She also has 4 Oscar nods, and she also won for
something recently.
Judy,
that's right.
There you go. So she has a 2-time Oscar award winner. Donald Sutherland as Reverend Monroe, Ada's father. He is in Don't Look Now, Backdraft, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Fun fact, Backdraft 2 as well, which we just discovered. Go ahead, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie we did.
Good job, Butler. Ray Winstone as Teague, our creepy sheriff, who's honestly, that character is quite the trope in a lot of these movies where everyone goes off to go do something.
Oh, and he stays behind, and
yeah.
I'm a keep all the women and take all the land.
Why don't you look at me, please look upon me. Anyways, he's in The Departed, Sexy Beast, and he plays Beowulf. Actually, he plays a couple people in Beowulf, but he is Beowulf in Beowulf, the animated movie by Robert Zemeckis. Kathy Baker as Sally Swagger. She is like a friend to Ada Monroe. She's in the TV show Picket Fences and the movie Edward Scissorhands. James Gammon as Esco Swagger. That is her husband. He's in obviously Major League and Wyatt Earp. He's in Major League 1 and 2. Then you have Philip Seymour Hoffman is there as Reverend VC, who has 5 Oscar nominations, and he won for Capote. I already know that it did this with you, Mike. And then, like I said, there are tons of other people, which we will get to.
Natalie Portman, Jack White,
Charlie Hunnam. If you can see this list is huge. So, exactly. I mean, at one point I said there's a note.
So Cillian Murphy appears for 2 seconds.
I told this to Butler, and this woman is everyone in this film? It's like, dear Lord, Natalie Portman,
everyone who is
Jenna
not
Malone,
American,
Taryn Manning, James Rebhorn, Emily Bones is in this. Bones is in this. But she didn't solve anything, which I was really disappointed. I was waiting for her to solve something, but she didn't solve it. Anyways. All right, Mike. Here's my history with this film. I think I saw this movie. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you don't remember if you did or not?
I don't remember I do remember some stuff. So I'm wondering if I like just stopped watching it or something like that. I don't, because there's some stuff I didn't remember, but I remember Renée Zellweger. I remember like the stuff with the farm and all that. I don't remember a whole heck of a lot, so I don't know if this is a first watch or not.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, it's like a 20
years old.
20 years old
22
film.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a 2.5 hour film that came out around Christmas time. So I probably was working.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not seeing this film, like, so this was not happening.
Right.
And I was probably I was in Orange at the time. So we were busy.
I feel like that happens a lot because that used to happen with you and me in the theater. What do you around Christmas time? Which one do you want to watch? We always watched.
We watched the one
what's shorter.
Yeah, because you just don't have time.
Yeah.
And there's like, you got a ton of stuff to do. And quite honestly, like,
and then it's so busy at the end of the day. You just
like,
for
Cold Mountain? Like, are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, let's check this out. Like, and I listen. It's a solid film. Is it a film for me? I don't know, Mike. What'd you think?
Oh, interesting. I remember exactly when I saw this movie because I remember
you were making out in it like Seinfeld and Schindler's List.
No, I remember. I didn't see this in theaters. My dad and I rented this. We used to do like movie nights, and it was this and Secret Window. And we were like, what do we want to do first? And it was like, we knew it was going to be a long night.
Secret Window.
So we were like, let's do Secret Window first because it's going to be the better movie. So at least we'll be in a good mood when we watch Cold Mountain. We did not expect much of Cold Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think both of us hated Secret Window so much.
I like Secret Window.
I really don't like Secret Window. To the point where I was just like, nothing is going to be as bad as Secret Window. So when I came out of Cold Mountain, I was like, at least I actually was surprised how much more I liked Cold Mountain than Secret Window.
I like Secret Window.
I wanted to like it. I was expecting to like it. I hated it. So that's why that memory pops up in my head so much. And which is why I think I remember some of the scenes because I remember that day so well.
Mm-hmm.
Of just being so mad at Secret Window that when the next movie started, I was like, at least it can't be worse. Cold Mountain is not we did a quote off. The quotes are dumb. Some of them are so cheesy and overdone. I couldn't find the quote. There were so many quotes. I couldn't find the quote that I groaned and rolled my eyes at. But there are the I packed ice melt around my heart one is really good. Ruby, everything Ruby says is just so ridiculous. I
don't think. Well, to be fair, I think the quotes are, like you say, ridiculous only because they're from the book.
They're novel quotes.
And they're not movie quotes.
Exactly.
Yes.
They're meant to be literary quotes. It's meant to be verbose. It's not meant to be real.
Yes.
Some of the quotes are good. I do like some of the quotes are genuinely decent quotes.
There's some good stuff in there in terms of like what they're saying, but I agree with you.
But and there's a lot of good stuff in the movie. I think overall, like you said, it's a good film. It's a solid film. It's not that, is this a film for me? Because I love historical epics. But this film is also cheesy and the characters aren't necessarily real enough to where I can latch on and say it's good because there's a lot of stuff that I think is ignored about the history, the time period, and a lot of stuff that is or glossed over, and a lot of the characters just make decisions that I'm just kind of like, I don't. Only in a storybook. Only in a storybook are they making these decisions. So it's like, overall, it is a solid film, but I think there's stuff that holds it back from being, and we'll get into why it's forgotten, holds it back from being like any of those historical epics that I think people remember. Like, and off the top of my head now, I can't remember any, but the English Patient's one of them.
I really like it.
Lawrence of Arabia. I would even say Troy, Gladiators, two of them that stick in my head from back in the day. Kingdom of Heaven, I think, is another one that has similar problems to Cold Mountain, which is why that's forgotten. I think when you get a historical epic that knows what it is, that's when you have problems. And I will get to it when we talk about the film.
Alexander
is another one, which I same thing with Cold Mountain I like, but has those issues, similar issues where it's just, oh, it's good, but it knows what it wants to be and it knows where it's being placed and it knows that it's Oscar bait. And I think when you know it, it detracts from your film.
Yeah.
That'd be my biggest takeaway from this. It knows what it is too much.
I think like my critique or what I feel about this film, it's not a critique, but what I feel about this film is not that I don't think it's a well put together film and it's got really good acting in it and it's got good dialogue. It's got a lot of great stuff, good to great stuff going on in there. I just don't know if I'm into it. Like, I just don't know me. Like, I'm just not into like what's happening. And to the point where, like, when I talked about how the character of Ray Winstone's character Teague is a bit of a trope of that person that, we're going to take care of your women while you're off fighting. Like I've seen that countless times. And I feel like that's just, okay. So I know how this is going to end. I know there's going to be, just the idea when Ruby's dad, who's played by Brendan Gleeson, and his band of, I guess, musicians, deserting musicians.
Technically, we only know Brendan Gleeson is deserter. We don't really know the other two are.
No, they all are. Because
did they say that they all were?
Anybody that's their age,
they're able-bodied.
Yes, right. They are not drafted, but they're expected to sign up, and they probably all signed up because of that. Just like in the beginning of the film when they're all talking about like, I can't wait to go get up.
They all seem like they're going to win in a month. Yeah. Which exactly. I think is always the expectation in war movies. I don't know if that was the expectation in real life, but when you watch World War II movies, the same thing happens.
I think that's
we're going to be done in a month
of young people.
We're going to be so good. We're going to wipe them up.
So when you have like Brendan Gleeson, Storebroad, and then Pango, who's Ethan Suplee, and then Jack White, who's Georgia.
Yep.
Like those the band of musicians, when you see them and like, don't you get caught? Don't stay at the mill. You know what's going to end up.
They're going to do it
exactly. So it's I just don't know if. Like I can sit back and be like, someone be like, Cold Mountain's really good. I go, oh, that's great. Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's a solid film. I'm just not into it. I just don't. I couldn't. I was bored at some points. At points in the movie, I was just like,
it's a long movie.
Yeah, and but I was just like, this is boring. I don't care about any of this. And like, I don't know if I'm just old and soft, but like when she cuts the goat's throat, when he's like, when they're like, when she cuts the goat's throat and she's like, everyone's got their purpose. His purpose is to serve me. It's like, really? That's the goat's purpose is to serve you? I don't think so.
Give me cheese,
lady.
Give me milk. Well, that's how they thought back then.
And I get
when you're in a survival mentality.
I get it. But what I'm telling you is that like,
I don't want to watch that scene either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is I'm not sitting there going, oh man, this is so good. I'm just sitting there going like, ugh, gross. Come on. Just stuff like that. And maybe I don't know. I just, it's not what's the last film we did where I was like this? Where I couldn't connect with it. It just came out. Was it Four Brothers? No.
I mean, you didn't really connect to Four Brothers, but no, it was a different film.
It was the one before that, not The Intern. One of those films where I was the same thing where I was just like, I can't get, I feel like I need to love this film and I don't love this film. So I feel like I'm like slacking on being a film.
It is. Oh no, where we both didn't like is 12 Monkeys.
Okay, yes. Oh yes, yeah. Same kind of feeling, not as much, but same kind of feeling. Like it's like one of these like I should really love this film, right? Because I love movies, and if I don't love this film, then I'm a fraud.
I think 12 Monkeys is more like that. Yeah, I think Cold Mountain has its issues, and I think even like other reviews kind of know that. So I think it's okay. But Four Brothers, you were also like, I don't have any feeling whatsoever. Because I remember I did edit Rango into that film. And have Rango comes up.
That's why I remember the sign. But so with Cold Mountain, I think the same issue maybe I have with Cold Mountain is what I had with the first two Harry Potter films is that they're straight from the book to the screen. Whereas Chris Columbus doesn't really add anything else, but just takes it straight from the book to the screen.
Right.
And with Cold Mountain, I feel that not only is a lot of stuff pulled straight from the book to the screen, but there's stuff left out that affects the stuff that's on the screen. Like, did you see the deleted scene that they cut out? Well,
I didn't see it,
but you heard about the Sarah?
Yeah. No. I'm okay with them cutting that out.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
because the movie's already depressing enough. Yeah. I don't need to watch that. That's
But still, like it's...
Plus, I don't like when... I've talked about on the show. I don't like when babies get... I don't like the end of the
when
Benjamin
the baby's
Button.
On the ground.
I don't like that. Yeah. I'm okay not seeing the dead baby. I'm okay with that.
Well, then I guess don't watch Trainspotting again.
I mean, I know what happened. I've already seen it, so it's fine. It's the first time I see it that it's...
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I was like... Yeah, the Sarah stuff. So they come and invade her house. She's in the South. A bunch of Union soldiers come in. They want food. They know she's hiding extra food, and they threaten her baby who already has the colic or something.
He's sick.
He's sick.
Keeps saying he's sick.
And they put him on the cold ground, and she's like, "He's sick. Get him off the cold ground." And like, we will when you give us all the food.
There's a nice shot, like low angle with the baby's head, and you see Cillian Murphy. You see everyone there.
Cillian Murphy's one of the soldiers.
Yeah, and you see them, and then you see the baby, and you're just like, "I'll pick the baby up."
Yeah, and the sergeant goes and takes Sarah inside. And of course, have his way with her.
What's going to happen next is, of course, the sergeant's going to try to take care. Have his way with Sarah.
And then.
Who's played by Natalie Portman? I don't know if
Natalie Portman comes in, because she's one of 8,000 characters in here. At least one American person in this movie. And Inman saves her, kills the soldiers, but the baby dies on the ground. So Sarah...
No. In the cold. Yes, in the movie.
In the deleted scene in the movie.
In the movie, it ends, he leaves.
You think she gets away. In the deleted scene.
He dies. The baby dies later inside the house.
Oh, and They try to save the baby and dies in the house?
Because she picks him up.
Oh, I
him
didn't watch it. I just read the note about it.
No. In the movie, she picks him up and takes him into the house. The next scene after that is
the baby
he doesn't
dies.
survive the night.
And Sarah shoots herself.
Yeah. Like, because she's despondent, she kills herself.
The movie's really depressing. I don't need that scene.
Yeah.
I'm glad they took that out. I get it. I got it from the scene where they try to have her way with her. They shoot everybody. She shoots Cillian Murphy. War sucks. Humanity sucks
First of
back
all,
then.
she's a really great shot for that kind. For like
Shoots
she
him
was
right in the
shooting
back
with
of the head,
with a rifle, and no scope, no like obviously it's
not even her rifle.
It was like,
Oh no, it is her rifle because she says she has one.
Yeah, and then he's like a good 40 yards away from her, and she puts him down.
Yep,
good shot.
That's depressing though. But yeah, but I don't need that scene. I think I don't know because I never read the book. I probably won't read the book.
Well, to also my other point about the book too, the book does the same thing the movie does, where it goes back and forth.
I did read that note. Yeah.
And I think when it first starts off and it goes 3 years earlier, I was like, no.
Cut to 3 years later.
And I was like, no, what are we doing? And then we kept going back and forth, and I was like, no, all right.
See, I was actually kind of okay with the back and forth because it really was split evenly, and it was showing the two hardships they have. And so I thought that was kind of well done. Whereas in other movies, when you do those flashbacks and there's two characters, one character is clearly the main character. And that always makes me mad because I don't understand why we're following this other character somewhat, but not enough. At least here it seems to be a 50-50 split.
But which character has a more interesting journey?
Anna.
Yes. Agreed. So yeah. So and don't you think it would be reverse? Don't you think that people... Is the expectation, I guess the question, that Inman would have a more interesting journey?
I think when you come into the movie, you're going to think Inman's going to have.
Well, let me ask you this question. What if Inman's journey was not on screen? It was all off screen. They just focused on Ada. And and it was just an Ada movie. And it was just about her at home and all that stuff. How strong of a movie would you think that would be? Not comparison. Just how strong of that movie would it be?
I think it would be a pretty strong movie because you have strong characters. Ada's a strong character. Ruby's a strong character. Brendan Gleeson's character is strong. The bad guy, Teague. He is weak. You would have to make him more nuanced, but you'd have a little bit more time to do that.
Yeah.
And then I think it would be a interesting movie, but you cut to Inman's kind of wonky Odyssey type journey, which I think could be a little bit more like the Odyssey.
That Odyssey journey, that reference, which isn't all that stuff, because the Odyssey is such an old book, and it's easy
to just be like,
everybody,
hey, this is the Odyssey.
Kind of matches that. Yeah, agreed.
If it was a little more interesting, but it is interesting enough that it keeps your attention. The Ada movie would have to be a much shorter movie, because it would get boring.
What would be a fascinating experiment, and I know that Anthony Minghella has passed away, so
cut the movie.
Yes, it would be to take this and take everything you have and make two different movies, Ada and Inman, and then the endings of each movie would have to be similar. Obviously, they'd
have to come together
when they get together. But I wonder how that would be.
It's like a Pokemon Red and Blue situation.
But that would be really,
I would really think that,
because then you probably have tons of deleted scenes that you took out that you could put back in.
The note said they have a 20-1 or a 60-1 ratio of footage to movie.
That would be crazy. Really fascinating. And if anybody was really cool. Anybody wanted to remake Cold Mountain, I would be like, do that. Give me Ada's story, give me Inman's story, and then
make two different movies.
Exactly.
That'd be really cool.
Wouldn't it be? I would think so.
I mean, Miramax did it. No, well, Disney helped, right?
Disney
wanted to take their funding, but they didn't.
Something like that. No. This film
Miramax is gone, so I don't know who would own. Well, it's on Paramount now.
No, this film was bought by, I have the note. It was bought by United Artists in 1997.
Okay.
And then they brought it to Miramax, or they sold it to Miramax.
Right.
But Minghella was always attached to it.
He was, and then they wanted to, somebody almost pulled out at the last minute.
Yeah.
And so Disney tried to pull out, but they didn't. Something like that. We lowered the budget substantially. It almost had like $180 million budget.
They had like $170 million. Yeah, they did, and then they kind of had to pare it down. But that would be fascinating. I would really like that. See, that's almost like a solution for a movie or a book that you're adapting that has two strong lead characters. Split up their story and then connect them later on.
If you had a book that was popular enough, if Cold Mountain was sold 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight or Harry Potter or any of those or the Da Vinci Code, if it was that big a book where it was like a major book milestone kind of thing, you would be able to probably get the excuse to be able to do that. and be like, yeah, this is how we're doing it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Or if it was a show, like a mini series, you could do the first season as Ada, second season as Inman, and do a third season as like the finale where they come together.
I don't want shows.
I'm not saying you could get a show. Yeah.
There was a
splitting movies is harder.
I saw an ad for a Peacock movie or something like that, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. It's like series starts. I'm like, oh, series. I know what I wanted to say. I know 3 words. Oh, I know what I always like to ask you with these type of films, Butler. What do you think about the accents?
I thought they were generally pretty good. I mean, they're in the deep south, so they got that drawl.
Did anyone slip out of it? Did you notice anybody not?
I don't think Natalie
with it.
I think Natalie Portman's was a little overblown. She did, but I think she did like kind of a classic damsel in distress, Gone with the Wind kind of accent.
I got a shotgun in here.
Yeah, she's very like whatever. Ruby is very like just try talking real fast doing this. I didn't have a problem with Jude Law or Nicole Kidman. I didn't notice them dropping out. But I think Ada also, what helps with Nicole Kidman is Nicole Kidman's accent is Australian, and she's done so many American movies that I feel like her accent kind of slips a little bit, and she's been in America for so long.
Okay.
That when she talks sometimes in interviews, it's like, oh, that's right, she's not Australian. So I feel like it's easy, and when she talks softly, you don't have to do as hard of a Southern accent because you're not really punching up the words.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't notice anyone who really didn't like hit the notes. I didn't have anybody go, oh man, no.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they all did a pretty good job. I mean, Ruby does a really good job because she talks fast.
Did you just go to the accent?
Absolutely. Like, Ruby just goes. I have a large section of my family from Tennessee. So I remember going there like over the summer and spent a week in the summer. By the end of it, you would be like, thank you. And you'd be like, oh, when somebody like tried to buy anything, you'd be like, damn it. You start slipping to the accent. Kind of like when I was at school in New York.
So Ada's story is more of a straight up linear tale, whereas Inman's is linear, but Inman's is more of vignettes. He kind of runs into.
Well, he's Odysseus going.
Right.
Yeah.
So of the vignettes, which one was your favorite? Which one was your least favorite? Or maybe there are parts of it you didn't like. I already know what part you don't like about one of them, but all right.
There are parts about all of them I don't like, and parts about some of them I do like. Which part do you not? Oh,
you don't like the sex scene.
I don't like seeing the big lady on top of.
What's wrong with that?
I think it's fine.
Oh, she's fine. Leave her alone. Come on, don't be a hater. I mean, granted, they're not doing it for good reasons. They're doing it to trap.
They're kind of like a ridiculous. But I also get that that's supposed to be this. If it is the Odyssey and it was purposely like the Odyssey, then that's the Sirens.
Sure,
that's Odysseus and his remaining crew, which I don't remember at what point. I mean, I'll find out when I watch Christopher Nolan's hard to hear version of the Odyssey.
I didn't realize my audiences need to hear dialogue.
If you don't you don't need to hear it. You're just dumb if you don't care.
Don't give two shits about us, but Chris.
I don't remember how many crew members he has left when he joins the Sirens. I don't think that many.
No.
So him just having the preacher helps, or the priest, and I get that they're the Sirens seducing them, trying to keep them on the island.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Hey guys. Mike here. So funny thing happened when we were recording this episode. For those that don't know, when I'm down in the studio, somehow I have the powers of DPO from the X-Files. Electrical powers for those that aren't X-File fans, which shame on you. So I went to go turn off said camera for the second half of the show. We have to film it in 2 halves because of how my recorder films 4K footage. And I zapped out the second half of our recording. The file was 0 KB and would not play on the computer. So there is no second half video, but our audio is separate. So there is second half audio. If you're listening to the audio form of this, there's no difference. You're going to get the second half of the audio. If you're watching the video version of this, you're just going to see stills from the first half of the episode replayed. And maybe the poster for Cold Mountain. Yeah, my bad.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
But like you talked about, I can't remember either earlier in the episode or off air, like their plan is kind of dumb.
Who's
Giovanni Ribisi and so they seduce
anybody that shows up there.
Yeah, they fornicate with all these men apparently, which the Confederate soldiers are okay with. In the Deep South, I doubt that. And they just keep getting different people. And where did these other men come from when they get them? Were they all collected or just those 2 guys?
Why is Giovanni Ribisi not serving in the military?
Why is he at? Why isn't he allowed? Why doesn't he have to serve? Why is was the ox part of the plan,
No, I
or
don't-
did he just see the ox? They helped him, and he was like, "Oh,
No, I think anybody that shows up to him, this is what he does.
Yeah, it's just so the ox was just a happenstance.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess. So I wasn't too big on that one. I think the scene with the preacher is cool. I like that, and he, my problem is like, oh, what are you doing with that slave woman? Or I don't have a problem with you people. I don't buy that because, and I get that you don't want to make the Southern people come off as slave happy racists, or especially your main character. But this is the Deep South. He wanted to fight for the South. He was gung ho about going to war. This man does not care about slaves. I don't believe that he would have.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that stuff is a matter of right or wrong. That stuff for them is the way of life. And it's, you always,
but
that's
then
just how it is.
I don't believe
they don't want the North telling them how to live their lives. That's pretty much not, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like when you look back on that, it's awful. It's terrible.
Which I don't believe he's going to stop the priest from throwing that slave off the bridge or the creek.
Well, he's your protagonist. He's got to be somebody.
I understand that. I understand that. But I don't believe that message. I don't. Those scenes, I'm just like, they don't hold true to me. And I'm just like,
then what's the alternative?
Don't put him in there at all.
So don't have that situation.
The priest is just trying to kill a girl in general.
So just not a
slave girl where he's like, how dare you? And now I'm going to put you for the town to lynch up. And I was like, And the town just cuts his hair and kicks him out.
I think he escaped or something.
They cut my.
That's why they didn't tar and feather him.
Yeah. If he was tarred and feathered, I'd be okay, a little bit more on it. So like that first journey, I'm like, okay. And like you said, Jenna Malone's character, come on this boat. That's awful lucky that she's there.
Yeah.
And the people are shooting and they shoot her first.
They're bad shots.
Like, come on.
they're no Sarah.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
So a lot of these, this movie was shot in Romania.
A lot.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of the winter stuff, but also, so I was like, okay, I guess there's not much place to shoot down south.
That's not like developed and stuff like that. It's hard to get those wide shots. What I do like is everything seemed practical. Even some stuff that I'm sure was a set, like Sarah's house.
Mm-hmm.
Ada's house seemed like it was shot in an actual old farmhouse, but it might also have been a set. A lot of it seems so practical and real. Certainly Giovanni Ribisi's house is really big and really lit well. So I don't believe that was a set.
I think that was a set.
But a lot of the rest of it looks really good. I think it really gives you a good sense of scale and like a good old Huck Finn adventure kind of
Huck Finn.
They did a good job scouting locations and stuff.
So I've got a note here. I'll read it to you. Scholars praise the film for its conformity to the historical scholarship in other subjects, with one saying, quote, "The final product should provide so unflinching a portrayal of the bleak and unsettling realities of a far less familiar version of the Civil War, but one that would be all too recognizable to thousands of hard-scrabble Southern men and women who lived through it." Well, I mean, no one now lived through it, but yeah.
I believe that. It's not looking at war, it looks at the effects of war.
Sure.
And I don't think I think News of the World does a really good job, but that's what's the period called right after that? Not
Post-Civil War?
Post-Civil War.
Reclamation?
That's what the Reclamation period, Restoration period. Where the way the South was treated after the North won the war and the country still kind of being at odds with each other. They did a good job of that and showing what people's lives were like that weren't in the war. But that's still after the war. This movie is one of the few where it's like, here's what life was during the war for those that weren't battling in glory.
Of the people
left behind.
The young guys fighting and just like, they fought for ideals, they lost. So now, like, okay, so you go back and you think, well, were my ideals wrong? And he says it in the movie, like, he's like, I'm done,
sick of fighting for something I don't
shot.
believe in.
Yeah, I'm getting shot or something. Like that for a war
cause I
don't believe in. And yeah, I mean,
what you gonna do? Shoot me? I like that scene where it's just like, get down, Russian.
Yeah,
and let the Union soldiers know where you are, and they're just like, oh yeah, screw you, and they just start running.
What's funny is I actually Lincoln does this, right? Lincoln, yeah. The idea that like once the war was over, the Confederacy was still was underground, and they were still almost like a terrorist organization, like still trying to undermine the government. I found that very fascinating in terms of like other takes upon after the Civil War, whereas you always get like you talk about like the rebuilding of the South and just kind of like mending terms, but like still there were still people that looking to
fight
still
and try to win.
Yeah. So I thought that was, but obviously that's not what this movie's about. This movie's about, you know, young love and the how war. I mean, like this story there's probably like 10, 15, 20, 25 versions of this type of love story set against the backdrop of war throughout literature and film.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like what from me to you, is it just because this takes place towards the end of the Civil War that sets it apart from these other films?
Well, like I told you before I started watching it, you were watching it in the process of watching it.
Yeah.
I texted you right before I started watching it that what I remembered it was a farewell to arms in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is. It's almost exact like a Farewell to Arms maybe doesn't match the Odyssey quite as much, but it's a very similar plot and it's very dark. It's a very like depressing book about someone trying to leave World War I who doesn't believe in what they're fighting for anymore and trying to get back and walking and going through all these different vignettes and seeing what the world is like for the regular people during World War I. And I think you could, like you said, you could match to a bunch of movies that are very similar.
Yeah. They
might not be deserters, but match to a bunch of movies that are very similar.
Right. So you actually agree with Ebert. He says, quote, "It evokes a backwater of the Civil War with rare beauty and lights up with an assortment of colorful supporting characters." So you're just kind of like right there with Roger.
Yeah, he seems to like it a little bit more than me, but yeah.
Richard Corliss from Time said, "A grand and poignant movie epic about what is lost in war and what's worth saving in life. It's also a rare blend of purity and, oh my God, maturitim, the Veer's most rapturous love story." I have never seen that word in my entire life.
That man had its thesaurus out when he wrote this.
Richard, nice job. Well, I always like to ask you, Butler, because this is such a long and epic film that it's a difficult film, or you have to kind of almost be scientific, or not scientific, but not careful. But who would you recommend this to? Like, you can't just recommend like this to everybody.
It's got to be someone who really likes history. I feel like I really dig history. I almost wanted to be a history teacher.
Still can.
Back then. I mean, yeah, I guess.
I mean, you can.
That's all going back to school. It's all
God.
done.
I'm looking for a new co-host. This one's gonna off himself.
I'm gonna make a clause where you just have to keep going solo though.
Oh man. You know, if I get solo, all my stuff would already be edited. It wouldn't be the night before. This guy.
Okay. You know, the next episode that comes out, you're gonna have a lot more of Field clearing his throat and burping.
F you, because you always put the bad stuff on there for me.
I edit so much stuff out. I only keep it when you leave it and you like word salad.
There's been episodes where I know I purposely screwed up and then I've stopped and started the sentence again and you kept it in there.
If it makes me smile, I keep it.
Exactly. So it's just your enjoyment.
I keep stuff when I mess up.
Who would you recommend this goddamn movie to?
Like I said, I think you gotta like history. I think you have to appreciate it. I think you have a appreciation for history.
Oh, totally.
Stuff like interesting. If you don't, this movie is so long. I don't think it's so long. The love story, which is supposed to be your central thing that's keeping these characters sane, and I don't believe it. Mm-hmm. Which I think is probably the weakest part of the movie is their love story is dumb. It's just something they're both holding on to because they don't know anything else. Which they do.
They say it. They admit it a couple times. I'm waiting for a man I've never even known, or something like that.
Why do you love me? You've spoken to me for maybe 15 years.
Yeah.
It's a breath of air.
What a time to be so like have no self-esteem. You spent this entire movie, this entire time deserting the Confederacy, traveling through all this blight, getting shot at, us, saving people to get to her, to finally get to her. And you're like, I don't even know why you like me. Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
You even ask the old lady, you got a woman waiting for you?
Yeah. I don't know. I traveled Ada, I traveled all this way for you just to see you. Your love kept me alive. Why? Why do you like me?
I'm married Tobias. I'm married Georgia.
Yeah. Come on.
We got a kid.
That's such a weak moment.
But yeah, so I think that you really have to like history in order to get past some of that stuff. It's also bleak.
It's not.
It was a bleak time. Which, as I'm watching the movie, I'm like, I'm so glad I was born now, because like back then, oh my god. Another thing is there are a lot of love scenes or sex scenes in this movie every time I watch one that takes place back then, I'm just like, how bad do they smell? How
Terrible.
like you're not kissing people.
Terrible.
The one woman who's like, oh, you can't get up, I'll help you. Like she's gonna blow him. Like, ugh, that's like cheddar.
With the wife.
The wife.
Yeah,
that's got to be like cheddar
Tara
cheese
Manning.
down there. It's just like, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, no.
People was stink back then.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So it's like that's kind of gross. I just don't know who. Like you really have to like history, be okay with the bleakness. The love story is not going to get you through this film.
Well, everything's
but it's a
dirty.
fascinating look at that time. So people I know, who would I recommend this to? While those type of people I would recommend, I don't know anyone.
Our old boss.
Yeah,
I think
she probably have seen it. She probably likes it.
Yeah.
I know my dad liked this film, but like it's got to be someone who likes history. I don't really know that many people that would dig this film.
Well, also the love story angle. I think that would be.
It's just not strong enough. I just don't know
for you, but it might be strong enough for that.
Cheesy enough for somebody.
Yeah, no, I really think like what's more fascinating in this film is the growth of Ada and where she's from. Like, cause like,
she's got that great line. I could teach you French. I can name all the rivers in Europe.
Yeah. And her father, Donald Sutherland, played her father, and he tells her before he passes that, he screwed up. I should have raised you as a companion. I should have raised you as a young woman. So that, he kind of screwed that up. And so you kind of got the sense of she doesn't know how to take care of herself.
She's afraid of a rooster.
Right. So her growth is really good. I think it's the strongest thing. Inman's growth is not internal. It's all external. It's all get home.
He doesn't have growth because we're immediately presented with one scene where he's like, I believe in this. I believe in the South. And the next scene where he's like, I don't want to die.
Yes.
I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. Well, we don't get the growth.
He's
like, I don't need to be. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just giving him after.
His growth is off screen.
Yes. 3 years later. Yeah.
So then why is this this is an Oscar? I talked about it before. It's got 7 Academy Award nominations. I talked about the ones before. The 2 I didn't mention was there's 2 songs in this movie that were nominated.
They're pretty good songs.
And the original and the score. So this film was an Oscar darling, I guess. But why are we saying it's forgotten then?
I mean, it didn't do gangbusters at the box office. It's really long. It's really bleak. It's... I think Glory people like.
I love Glory.
People don't talk about Glory anymore. We did Glory on the show. Glory is phenomenal. But I think people don't want to talk about the Civil War because it's Americans killing Americans, and that's not something people want to go back to and watch. And I think that's said again in the fact like that new Civil War movie came out from Alex Garland, which.
What the not the sci-fi, but like the kind of like the one with
the near future one. Yeah. No one wanted to watch that. Nobody wants to watch that stuff.
You want to know why I don't like that movie? Because the lead actress is the the person that the girl that the mentor in that film. She is the direct reason why the lead who was it Julianne Moore?
Kristen Dunst.
Kristen Dunst. She causes her death. So anyway.
Kristen Dunst dies in the movie?
At the end, sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay. I probably wasn't going to watch it because again,
but she causes death.
It's too depressing. That stuff, like no one wants to watch it. No one's like, what do you want to watch
those
today?
Type of film, but like those type of films that are that futuristic film. I know why you're saying it's depressing because you're worried that that's going to happen.
No, that's not.
55,000 things need to happen in order for where they got.
That's not my point. I'm saying that no one wants to watch those kind of films.
Okay.
Because it's just not something that's like, hey, you want to watch this really bleak movie?
So you don't like you don't like dystopian?
Sure, I do.
Sure.
To a point, but I think sci-fi's gotten too dystopian. But like dystopian in terms of like past and stuff like that. But I think it's hard to be like, I'm gonna pop it in and watch it. Let me chill. Like, yes, it's streaming, which helps this film because so many films aren't nowadays that are like those kind of things. But it's like, do I want to sit down and watch a really bleak? Even you have to purposely split this film up
because I'll fall asleep. I'm old.
It's just like I don't know who I'm recommending this to. I don't know who's popping this in, just generally speaking. And then like we talk about really well done historical epics, and I think there are so many other ones. You're gonna watch Glory over this. You'll watch Saving Private Ryan if you want to watch a war movie. Glory if you want to watch a Civil War movie.
I'm trying to think of other Civil War movies. Gettysburg. That was like a TV.
That's a TV movie. Right? Yeah, I don't think that was.
What was the one that took place at it took place in the prison, the war camp, Antietam?
Yes, I've never seen him, but I know what you're talking about.
That's another miniseries. That's another TV movie, right?
Yeah. So there's not a lot of Civil War stuff, but I think that if historical epics, there's other ones that are more well done that you're gonna go back if you're really into.
I never saw the Red Badge of Courage. That's
I
an
don't even
older
know what that
film.
one is.
Do you remember you ever read that book in school?
No.
Same thing. Brothers fighting brothers kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Civil War.
So I think you're going to go and watch other ones of that, or other historical epics like that, other war movies, because this isn't really a war movie.
It's tough because again, you're right. You touched upon it. It's Americans killing Americans. The Civil War. There's no. Yes, the Union, what the Union was fighting for, obviously was a better way of life for.
But the way they were fighting and who they were fighting,
still,
and how it
you're
was
fighting
going
each
on.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way it's happening is not something you ever want to think about, because it's just you don't want to view like, hey, we're the heroes. Oh, but wait, we all are also the villains.
Yep.
So in World War II, you have a lot more epic World War II.
And I think there's a good line about that too, and I can't remember what it is. Something about that I think God's tired of taking both sides of an argument. That's what Inman says, and I think that's a really good line. Yeah. So I think that's why it's forgotten.
Okay, cool.
Do you agree?
I think it's long. I think people. I think when we talk about how like, hey, who would you recommend this to? I think that is part and parcel with why it's forgotten, because this film's not going to get a lot of recommendations, so it's going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are going to be like, you got to check out Cold Mountain. Not a lot of people are saying that because it's like after you watch Cold Mountain, you're just like, all right, I watched it. All right, I'm glad I saw it. But like, will I ever see it again? Probably not.
I mean, I did 20 something years later.
So I think that's probably accurate. So,
yeah.
All right. Where can they find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast. You're watching, listening to us right now. Go ahead and rate, review, comment. What's your favorite Civil War movie that we forgot about? Because everything else was a TV movie, and I only know one other Civil War movie apparently. Let us know in the comments down below.
Jonah Hex. Was that Civil War?
That's post Civil War. That's a lot. Yeah.
Back to the Future 3. No.
Also post Civil War. I will say this movie did make me want to go back and play Red Dead Redemption 2 again.
So long, boring.
It's fantastic. So if you like Forgotten Cinema, like I said, do all that kind of stuff. We have a Patreon if you want to support us more with exclusive episodes, merch discounts, Discord access, keep up with what we're doing if you want to just join for free, and go to our merch store, watch our other shows. We do now showings, lead ups, all that kind of good stuff. And that's what I got.
Yeah. So join us next week as we're going to watch the taste of this bleak film out of our mouths while doing a rom-com called Return to Me with David Duchovny and Minnie Driver. Have you seen this film?
Nope. No clue what it is.
I like this movie quite a bit. So really, you don't know what this movie's about?
Nope. I assume it's about some guy returning to somebody.
No, it's about David Duchovny's wife passes away and her heart goes into Minnie Driver's heart and he ends up falling in love with her.
This sounds kind of sad.
It's not sad. It's really good. It's a good movie. You'll like it. All right, that's next week. Return to Me. And if you don't like it, we'll fight. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema. Thanks for watching and listening. I know I always say that, but I said it in the beginning.
I need some way to pick this ice. Melt this ice around my heart.
Oh, Ada. Poor Ada. Kill that rooster.